Okay, so we're going to be adding and subtracting decimals, but we're going to take it from word form and convert that to standard form so that we can make sure that we put the decimals and the place value columns in the appropriate place. So if we have in word form 27/10, we need to know how to convert that into standard form. Now when we think of 27/10 as a fraction, it's 27 divided by 10. Now, looking at our place value chart, the tenths column is here, so I need to make sure that 27/10 goes in the appropriate place. So I want to make sure that the last place that I go to is the tenths column. So we're going to put 2 in the ones column and 7 in the tenths column, because 27/10 is equal to 2 and 7/10. Now if we subtract 65 hundredths from 27/10, the hundredths column is going to be 2 places to the right of the decimal point. So if I have 65 hundredths, I need 65 to go no further than the hundredths column. So we're going to subtract these two decimals, 2.7 minus 0.65. Now we'll notice we have a space in the hundredths column here. We can always fill in our empty space with a 0. So we're just going to convert 2 and 7/10 into 2 and 70 hundredths. Now that we have our place value columns lined up, our decimals are lined up, we can subtract. So we're going to borrow from the 7, take 1 from the 7, make that a 6, so that now we have 10 hundredths minus 5 hundredths is going to be 5 hundredths. 6/10 minus 6/10, we're going to have 0 tenths. We place our decimal point, and 2 ones minus 0 ones is going to equal 2 ones. So 27/10 minus 65 hundredths is going to equal 2 and 5 hundredths. Okay, so what if we get an addition problem and we have several place value columns that we're going to need to add? Okay, so let's start with the hundredths. What if we have 379 hundredths? We'll start with 379 hundredths. We'll write that in word form. We're going to add 4 thousandths, and we're going to add to that 36 tenths. Okay, so we have 3 different place value forms here. We need to convert each of these into a decimal. So 3 and 79 hundredths, again, if we make our place value chart, to the right of the decimal we have the tenths place, the hundredths place, and the thousandths place. To the left of the decimal, we have the ones column, the tens column, and the hundreds column. So let's go ahead and start by converting 379 hundredths. Now the hundredths place is 2 numbers to the right of the decimal, so we want 3.79. That's going to be the same thing as 379 hundredths, or 3 and 79 hundredths. Plus 4 thousandths. The thousandths column is here, so I'm going to place a 4 in the thousandths column. Now let's go ahead and fill these in with zeros, or empty spaces, place our decimal point, and then 36 tenths is going to be 3 and 6 tenths. So our decimals are lined up, our place value columns are lined up. We have some empty spaces here. We can fill these in with zeros, just to avoid making mistakes. And then we can add the 3 numbers in standard form together. 0 plus 4 plus 0 is 4 thousandths. 9 hundredths plus 0 hundredths is 9 hundredths. 7 tenths plus 6 tenths is 13 tenths. So we're going to put a 3 in the tenths column and regroup 1. And then 1 plus 3 plus 3 is 7. So altogether we have 7 and 394 thousandths. Okay? One last example that we're going to do. Okay? We can convert from word form into decimal form using a subtraction method. Okay? So what if we have, let's say we have 6 ones, and we're going to take away 13 tenths. Okay? If we have 6 ones, we have the ones column here, and we have our decimal point, and then we have our tenths column. So 13 tenths can be converted to 1 3/10. So we're going to take away 1 3/10. Now my 6 does not have a decimal point, so if I want, I can add a decimal point and a 0. 6.0 is the same thing as 6 ones. Now when I'm subtracting, we want to make sure that we borrow, because we can't subtract 0 minus 3. So we're going to take 1 from the ones column, make that 5 ones left. We're going to take one of those ones and convert it into 10 tenths. So 10 tenths take away 3 tenths is 7 tenths. 5 ones take away 1 1 is 4 ones. So we're left with 4 7/10. So that equals 4.7.